Hello and welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 personal favourite rides at Drayton Manor. So without further delay, let's get on straight with the countdown, starting at number 10. So at number 10 we have Troublesome Truck's Runaway Coaster. Now this is a Gerstlauer family coaster located in the Thomas Land area of the park, and I've been on this ride a couple of times since both times I visited the park this year. And it is actually a pretty decent little family coaster. Like, the amount of speed it builds up towards the end of the attraction is quite surprising, actually, if that makes any sense. It's got some pretty decent airtime in a few different places. The pacing's quite good on it, and it also does 2 laps around the same layout as well, which is really good as well. It's also perfect attraction, like perfect first roller coaster for like the younger ones as well. So yeah, if you're visiting Drayton Manor and if you're going with like maybe younger children, I would definitely recommend getting on Troublesome Trucks as like maybe their first roller coaster. So at number 9 we have the Bounty. Now this is a Huss Rides pirate ship attraction, and what I really like about this ride, at least compared to like other pirate ship attractions I've been on, is that it's purely just like the location of it. It's built at ground level, which is different than some of the other ones I've done, which are like sort of dug in like trenches and pits and whatnot. So like the Blade Alton Towers, Blue Barnacle, Chessington, those are all like sort of dug sort of in trenches below ground level. Whereas this one is sort of on ground level, so it feels a lot high. It feels like it goes higher than it actually does. And then also its location on the lake. It's such a stunning, it's such a photogenic attraction, like where it is like literally right on the lake, overlooking all the attractions like the Wave, Jormungandr 4, Stormforce 10, and pretty much everything else that's around that whole area. And you can never go wrong with a pirate ship attraction. It's always good family fun. It's probably one of the most iconic rides in the amusement industry, and you know, I honestly enjoy it whenever I manage to get on the Bounty. Unfortunately, it wasn't open last time I went, but it was open back in May when I visited, so I managed to get on it then, and you know, I really enjoyed it. So at number 8 we have Air Race. Now this is a Zamperla Air Race attraction, and before I did Air Race at Drayton Manor, I've never done it. Literally had never done any other like type of Air Race attraction before. I'd seen a few like videos of this ride before, obviously visiting the park, and I didn't really know much about what to expect. And when I got on it, I was actually pretty surprised by how intense it was. Like, with it being like one of the few sort of thrill rides left at Drayton Manor, along with, I'd probably say, Maelstrom, the Wave, and maybe a few others. This was actually a pretty solid little attraction. It's only like a small attraction, but it does do quite a lot in the amount of time you're on there. Like, the like sort of quick like sort of sideways flips that you do upside down are good, but like it's the moments when it just sort of hangs you upside down, because due to all the momentum it sort of gains and also loses at the same time. It's when you hang sort of upside down for a long period of time, like I say a good 2, 3 or 4 seconds, that's probably the most intense part, because you're being held upside down for so long, all the blood starts to rush to your head a little bit, and that can be quite intense at times. So yeah, that's why I think Air Race is quite a fun little intense attraction, and I'm so glad that I've managed to experience it a number of times. So at number 7 we have Blasting Barrels in the Frontier Falls area. And now this is not your average like sort of teacup style attraction. The main sort of difference is to do with the ride mechanism. Now unlike most other teacup style rides where the actual base of the attraction is just completely flat, during the actual ride experience on the ride cycle on Blasting Barrels, the base of the attraction sort of tilts, so that you are at an angle whilst also spinning on the base of the attraction, which adds a whole new sort of dimensional thrill to it, and that's what I really enjoy about it. It's probably got to be my favourite sort of teacup style ride just for that very reason, because along with like the crazy amount of spinning that is controlled by the ride, because it's one of those ones where you can control the spinning, so you can spin literally as fast as you want. But along with that, you've also got the whole base of the attraction tilting upwards, which it obviously affects the gravity of the spinning, which can make it even more wild than it would be if it were just a regular sort of flat base teacups attraction or gunpowder barrel attraction, because that's sort of the theme of what it is. And yeah, that's why I really enjoy Blasting Barrels, and I love this attraction so much. I'm glad I've been able to do this type of like sort of teacups attraction as opposed to just the usual ones. So at number 6 we have 4, located in the Vikings area. Now this is a Zamperla Disco ride. Now I have done ones like this before. I've done like the likes of Cobra, Chessington World of Adventures, and I've done Avatar Airbender at Pleasure Beach Resort, which is a slightly different version, which doesn't have like the little hill in the middle. I think 4, I've just really enjoyed this one so much because you just cannot go, like Pirate Ship, you cannot go wrong with Zamperla Disco coasters. They offer such a really fun sort of disorienting experience, and also I think what I enjoy more about this one is the fact that when you're going sort of towards like near the top of the spikes, you get quite close to the edge. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like you get closer to the edge of like the spikes on 4 than you did say on Cobra or Avatar Airbender. And that's what I really seem to enjoy about this one as well. I think 4 is probably the best ride in Vikings. I've not done Schleppnir or Loki. Jormungandr is a decent little powered coaster, but it's nothing really too crazy or stand out about it. So I think 4 is probably going to be my favourite ride in the whole Vikings area at Drayton Manor. So at number 5 we have The Haunting, which is a Vekoma Madhouse attraction. Now this actually is the original Vekoma Madhouse to open in the UK, which opened in 1996, 4 years before the iconic Hex, The Legend of the Towers at Alton Towers. Now, I love Vekoma Madhouses. I've only done like a small handful of them, but when I actually do them, I love them so much, like, because it's such a surreal experience. Like the amount of, like the whole illusion of being in like a room and thinking you've like turning completely upside down when you know, it's such a cool effect to have on the ride experience. And the story of this ride, I love the story of like the whole like experience of it, and also some of the effects on there as well. Would I say it's as good as Hex? No, but it is definitely still a really good attraction, and I would definitely recommend riding it if you get the chance to go on The Haunting. The only problem I really have with it is the fact that they only send one group in at a time, and it has a 15-minute ride cycle. So if it has if the queue is quite long, you're going to be queuing for a long time. So that's my only sort of problem that they have with The Haunting. And there's no like ride access queue if you're using ride access pass for The Haunting either. But other than that, it's a really great attraction, and you know, it's a wonderful addition to Drayton Manor. So at number 4 we have Accelerator. Now this is a Vekoma Family Boomerang Coaster, formerly known as Ben 10 Ultimate Mission, but it got renamed to Accelerator a few years later. It's also in Frontier Falls alongside The Haunting and Blasting Barrels. But I think it's just it's an amazing roller coaster. It's probably a really good like roller coaster to get on as like your first sort of forwards and backwards roller coaster. Because this is the only type of like Vekoma Family Boomerang coaster I've done, but it's a really enjoyable experience. Yes, it's quite short, but the whole like sort of climb backwards up the lift hill, overlooking that like the whole sort of Frontier Falls area of the park, and then just dropping straight down is such a really fun experience. And the speed you get dropping down back towards the ground from the lift hill is quite. It does sort of throw you off guard a bit. I mean, it can't be like, it's not like great fast. It's probably like maybe about 35-40 miles an hour, no faster than that. I don't know the exact top speed of it, but it's probably around that area. But you know, the pacing on it is really good, and obviously the best bit is obviously when you get to the spike at the end, you start going through the whole layout again. That's such a really fun experience, and you know, Accelerator's a wonderful ride and definitely one of the best rides I'd recommend at Drayton Manor. So at number 3 we have The Wave. Now this is an Intamin. It's technically an Intamin stand-up coaster because when it opened originally in 1994 as Shockwave, it was a stand-up coaster. However, for the 2024 season, they rethemed it and renamed it to The Wave, and they changed the trains from stand-up trains, and they refurbished the train and gave it a sit-down train that was refurbished by ART Engineering. And that meant they gave it lap bars, and that meant they could lower the height restriction so younger thrill seekers could ride it, which made it more accessible for families. I sort of do think that's a good move in perspective, like with the direction that Drayton Manor wants to go in as like a family theme park. But overall, I think the wave is definitely such a phenomenal. It's a really fun attraction. Like it's very intense going around the inversions, especially the 0G roll, and the amount of freedom you feel like as you're going around the ride with those lap bars is honestly an amazing experience. I do wish I'd visited Drayton Manor like much earlier than I did, so I could have possibly experienced the ride when it was Shockwave and it was a stand-up coaster. I think my probably only issue with it as to why it's probably not my favourite coaster at the park is because it is literally quite short. Like after the double corkscrew, it just goes straight back into the station like it's been auto-completed on Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I suppose maybe if they added like more to the layout, then it probably would be a bit higher on the list. It might even be number one. But other than that, I have no issues with this ride, and I think it's a wonderful attraction and probably definitely one of the best rides at Drayton Manor. So at number 2 we have Gold Rush. Now Gold Rush is the most recent attraction to open at Drayton Manor. It is an Intamin family lift and launch coaster. It's the company's first lift and launch family coaster. It's the first of its type in the UK and I believe in the world as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first type of roller coaster in the world that has this sort of feature about it. Because essentially, it's a roller coaster that can run 2 cycles. Now it operates on cycle 1 from park opening until about 2 PM, and then from 2 PM until park closing, it operates on cycle 2. Now when I visited most recently in August, unfortunately it wasn't running cycle 2, but I got to experience cycle 1. It's such a fun, it's an incredible ride experience. The technology involved to allow it to literally go up the lift hill, go through the layout, reach the launch building, launch backward onto a separate track from where you came from, which travels sort of back up to the lift hill, but you're going backwards up the lift hill as if it's like a vertical spike, and then you sort of pull to the top of the lift hill backwards, and then you drop back down. It's a very surreal experience, and you know the technology involved to make that happen is quite impressive actually. So it's a really fun little family coaster. It was slightly faster than I was expecting. Like I wasn't really expecting it to be that fast, but like when you get launched backwards and then you sort of drop back down the lift hill, that's when it sort of builds up quite a bit of speed, and you get some pretty decent pops of airtime in it as well. Not to mention the whole like presentation in the area is quite good as well. Some of the theming is quite nice. The landscaping's really good, and yeah, overall, I think Gold Rush has got to be probably the best roller coaster at Drayton Manor. So we're about to reach number 1, but before I reach number 1, if you haven't already, then make sure to like and subscribe, and so you don't miss more videos just like this. But for now, on to number 1. So we have now reached number 1, and my personal number 1 favourite attraction at Drayton Manor is Maelstrom, which is an Intamin gyro swing. And honestly, usually at theme parks, my favourite sort of attraction is like one of the main roller coasters, but I think Maelstrom has got to be my favourite ride at Drayton Manor. Like, it's such an intense ride experience. I think before this, the only thing I did close to like a gyro swing was maybe Vortex at Fort Park, and that's a good ride, but this is on a whole nother level. Like, every single swing you take, it's taken with such like insane G-forces. Like, it gains momentum quite quickly as well. Like, and like obviously the higher the swings go, because it builds momentum up quickly, and the higher the swings are, the more G-forces you feel when coming back down to the ground and going back up the other direction. And also the gondola is spinning as well this whole time, so you're facing a different way every time you go up and down. And it can be quite intense as well. I think it's such an intense ride experience when you go on it. Plus, not to mention the views you get when you're up there, like of the whole Drayton Manor theme park and of like the surrounding like Staffordshire area, the countryside, is absolutely fantastic. And obviously it depends on where you sit, because it's a 360-degree gondola. So you're facing a different way, literally, depending on where you sit, but you can face literally, you could literally go on this ride, like, literally, possibly if you wanted to lap it dozens of times a day, you could get sat on like a different seat each time. You'd still be facing a slightly different direction. and it also, depending on where you sit, the whole ride experience, the intensity can differ, the views you get can differ, and that's what I love about it. Like the experience differs depending on where you sit, if that makes any sense. Like the intensity can change, like the views can, it's honestly, it's such a fun ride experience. It's an incredible ride, absolutely incredible piece of engineering. I'm so glad that I've finally been able to get on an Intamin gyro swing in the form of Maelstrom. And as I've said in previous videos, this makes me look forward to the opening of Invictus at Pleasure Beach Resort even more, because that ride is going to be more than double the height of Maelstrom, which means it's going to swing faster and it's going to be even more intense. But obviously I still love Maelstrom regardless, and it's probably one of the best flat rides I've ever been on in general, and that's actually incredible. I love this ride so much. So if you're definitely looking for like one of like the more thrilling attractions at Drayton Manor, definitely get on Maelstrom, because that's definitely going to be one of the best thrill rides and the best ride at Drayton Manor. Yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment what you'd like to see in the next video. Goodbye.